listeners, to an insightful episode of Giggles and Guidance podcast. I'm Colmir, and today joining me are my friends who will be sharing their insights in this important topic. Let's welcome them as they introduce themselves. Guys?
Hi guys, I'm JJ. How you doing?
Hi guys, I'm Aubrey. How are you all?
And hi, I'm Rina.
So, hello everyone. We're done with the greetings. So, we're diving deep into a topic that demands our attention: the Department of Education's approaches to sexually transmitted diseases, or STDs, in the Filipino youth. Before we delve into the nitty-gritty, let's set the stage. The Philippines, like many other countries, grapples with the complexities of addressing STDs amidst cultural taboos and societal norms. It's a challenge that requires a multifaceted approach and a deep understanding of the cultural context. Our journey begins with a discussion on the cultural taboos surrounding sex in the Philippines. These deeply ingrained societal norms have created barriers to open dialogue and education about sexual health. So, how this is cultural. During the first episode, we delve more into the background of STDs in the context of the Philippines. And during the second episode, we were able to go into a more personal level on the topic as we were able to interview some people and get their perspective on the topic.
Indeed, the topic of STDs is something that people often hear, but for many, it remains just that, something that we encounter in passing, when in reality, this is actually a very important topic that we need to discuss.
I agree with Rina, no? Kasi especially that's true for the Philippines, for the Filipinos, no? Where the topic of sex and all are all related are set aside, no? Kasi kino-consider siya na taboo, right?
I think you two mentioned something very important, and I agree with both of you, which is why it is important to use platforms like this podcast to strive to break down those barriers and initiate meaningful conversations. Building on these discussions from episode 1 and 2, we've identified several root causes contributing to the spread of STDs in the Philippines. And one of them was actually what Iris and JJ mentioned earlier, which was the stigma around the topic of sexual health.
I do agree, since the stigma surrounding discussions about sexual health in the Philippines has undoubtedly contributed to the lack of awareness and prevention efforts. I also think na religion has played an important role in shaping attitudes towards sex and sexuality.
Drawing from our interviews and discussions, it's clear that addressing these root causes requires a multifaceted approach. The Department of Education plays a crucial role in this endeavor. Moving forward, DepEd must prioritize comprehensive sexual education within school curricula, providing students with accurate information and fostering open dialogue. Now, let's hear from each of you. What do you believe DepEd should do to improve its approach to STD awareness and prevention?
I think that DepEd should also engage parents and guardians in the conversation by providing resources and guidance for them to discuss sexual health with their children so that it can reinforce the messages that students receive in school and create a more supportive environment for learning.
In addition to what Rina said, DepEd should ensure that sexual education is inclusive and addresses the needs of all the students, di ba? Kaya nga nandyan yung DepEd to make a curriculum na perfectly fit for the student and at the same time na-address yung issue with regards to the STDs and information about sexual health. Regardless of the gender identity or sexual orientation, dapat lahat yun ako-cover. By promoting diversity and inclusivity, we can create a safer and more supportive environments for all our young people, di ba?
I agree with both Rina and JJ. Kailangan ng DepEd, pinaprioritize niya din yung access to sexual health services for students. This includes yung testing and counseling. And by integrating these services into school health programs, we can ensure that all students have access to the care that they need to stay healthy.
Absolutely. Those are all fantastic suggestions. DepEd's approach to STD awareness and prevention must be holistic and inclusive, addressing not only the biological aspects of sexual health, but also the social, emotional, and cultural factors at play. So, thank you all for your valuable insights. Now, let's shift our focus to what we can do as individuals and community members to address STD awareness and prevention. So, what actions do you think we can take? Because personally, as individuals, we can educate ourselves about sexual health and STD prevention and then share that knowledge with others. We can also advocate for comprehensive sexual education in our own communities and support initiatives that promote sexual health and well-being.
Absolutely, Kalmir. We can also prioritize our own sexual health by practicing safe sex. I mean, malalaki na naman tayo lahat dito. We can get regular STD screenings and seek support and resources when needed.
I agree with Rina, no? We can also challenge the stigma and discrimination surrounding the STDs by amplifying all the informations that we have, by amplifying all the voices of those who are hurt by those stereotypes, di ba? Kaya nga we have social media to incorporate this with our amplifying with our goals, ganyan. So, siguro we can promote acceptance and understanding by that also.
And let's not forget the power of supporting organizations and initiatives that are working towards addressing STD awareness and prevention. Whether through volunteering man yan, through donations, or spreading the word, we can all make a difference in our communities.
You're right. There's still so much to discuss. As we reflect on our journey through this series, it's clear that the conversation around STDs in the Philippines is far from over. While we've touched on important topics and proposed solutions, there are still deeper layers to explore and more perspectives to consider.
Absolutely, Kalmir. One aspect that we haven't delved into deeply is the role of technology and social media in shaping attitudes towards sex and sexual health among the Filipino youth. No, na-mention yun ni JJ kanina, na with the widespread access to smartphones and the internet, young people today are exposed to a vast array of information, both accurate and misleading, about sex and STDs. Understanding how technology influences perceptions and behaviors could be key in designing effective educational strategies.
That's great point, Rina. No? So we've also talked about the importance of comprehensive sexual education, but what about the accessibility of healthcare services, di ba? Lalo na pag nasa rural ka, di ba? Many rural areas in the Philippines, the access to healthcare are hindi ganun kaganda, including na yung mga STD testing and treatment sites, sobrang limited. Addressing these disparities in access is crucial for ensuring that all young people have the support that they need to maintain their sexual health, not just their sexual health, but their holistic health as well.
And let's not forget the importance of destigmatizing STDs and promoting a culture of openness and acceptance. By challenging stereotypes and fostering empathy and understanding, lalo na sa mga apektado ng mga sakit na to, we can create an environment where individuals feel comfortable seeking testing and treatment without fear of judgment or discrimination.
Absolutely, Bray. The fight against STDs requires a multifaceted approach that addresses not only the biological aspects but also the social, cultural, and structural factors at play. It's clear that there's still much work to do, but by continuing to engage in open and honest dialogue, we can move closer to our goal of a healthier and more informed society.
I couldn't agree more, Colmir, no? Because our journey doesn't end here. It's actually just the beginning. So by staying curious, by staying informed, and by staying engaged, we can continue to make a difference in the lives of Filipino youth and beyond.
Absolutely. Let's keep the conversation going. Nasimulan na natin to, so let's keep advocating for change and keep striving for a future where sexual health is prioritized and accessible to all.
Well said, JJ. Together, we can create a world where STDs are no longer a taboo topic, but rather a health issue that is met with understanding, compassion, and effective prevention and treatment strategies.
So thank you all for your insightful contributions. Do you want to say anything?
Personally, I would like to thank all our listeners for tuning in our three-part series of our podcast. And I hope na yung message namin is mag-resonate with them and will bring valuable learnings that they could hopefully share with more people.
I also want to thank kayo guys for being here, diba? So we all provided in this conversation, and we hope na yung mga natakil natin today would open the eyes of like a larger population when they hear this podcast. So even if for many this is just a podcast, ninyo alam, diba, baka madami tayong na-influensyahan ng mga tao to be more open about this topic, which could be a stepping stone towards a more open and accepting Filipino society.
Ako naman, ang message ko to the Filipinos, especially for the youth, no? So, I think na huwag kayong mahihiya with regards to questioning with regards to your health. Huwag mahihiyang magtanong, kumbaga, di ba nga? So, ayun, ang nice ko lang sabihin rin na sana patuloy natin ipakalat ang mensahe na tunay na impormasyon tungkol sa sexually transmitted diseases and kung paano mape-prevent yun. Yun lamang po.
So it's been a privilege to journey through this series with you, and I look forward to continuing the conversation in the future. So until next time, take care and stay informed. This is Colmir Pascual, and in behalf of my friends and in this podcast, we are now signing off. Thank you so much, Animal Lasal.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.